Hey, I'm Lindsey, the owner of Ryan and Rose, and I've gotten so many requests lately to do my testimony. And when I was thinking about I could totally do that, I was kind of overwhelmed with oh my gosh, I have so much to say. I feel like there's so many amazing things that God has done in my life that it would be hard to share in one video. So I thought I would kind of divide it in different videos. And so today we're going to talk about my childhood. God's good. That's all I can say. God is so good. So yeah, I was born, I'm a Virgo. I was born in September. But I was born with a tumor in my spine. My mom knew at a very young age that something was wrong. And so, of course, that mother instinct, she went to the doctor, and of course they found that I had a lipoma on my spine. And that led to a bunch of surgeries. To date, I've had 24 major surgeries, but I wouldn't change that because I really feel like that makes me who I am. That makes Lindsey. But yeah, so let's back up. So I have parents, of course. It takes two to tango. I have a dad, Randy, and my mom, Pat. My parents got divorced really early, and I kind of always joke, I'm like, yeah, I'm the reason they got divorced. Not really, but I can only imagine the stress that having a child with medical issues and all that financial stress that is put on you, because I think about that now. I'm like, oh my gosh, what if Ryan or Charlie, what if they had to go through that? I'm so grateful for my mom and how strong she was and all that my parents did to teach me that I'm awesome and I can keep going and I can do anything, and don't let it stop me. Set those goals high, and that's what I feel like I've done. But yeah, I lived with my mom. We were big family people. My grandparents, my mom's parents, were a huge part of our lives. My mom was a single mom working full time, busting it, doing what she could to provide for me and my two sisters. I have an older sister, Ashley, and I have a younger sister, Whitney, both of which have worked for Ryan and Rose. Ashley is also, she works at as a X-ray tech, and then Whitney used to be a nuclear medicine technologist and now works full-time for Ryan and Rose. She is our shipping manager and inventory manager, and she's actually been with us from the very beginning. But yeah, I love my family. We also spent a lot of time with my aunt growing up. That's who we used to travel with, and that was with my first job. But that is another day, because that's a whole nother story to talk about how God is awesome and how He's worked in my life. But yeah, like I said, I was born with a tumor on my spine. Of course, they went in and had the lipoma removed. I had a lot of scar tissue. I don't even know if I'm saying this right. This is just what I've heard through the years. But so I had the surgery. They went in, did some damage, had some nerve damage. And then after that, I had a neurogenic bladder. What that means is basically I can't use the restroom by myself. And people always ask me when I talk about it in my stories, because I'm very open. I love to educate others. So basically my brain can't tell my bladder to open and close. So I have to use a catheter or a tube to catheterize. And I wouldn't change that, because that's just who I am. I've always catheterized, and I'm used to it. And that's part of me. That's life. So a lot of surgeries. I was in kindergarten. Probably the big moment was I was in kindergarten, and my dad thought my grandparents catheterized me, and my grandparents thought my dad catheterized me, so nobody catheterized me. And I went to school, and my bladder ruptured, and I passed out on the playground. Took me to the hospital, and they used my bladder to rebuild. No, they used my bowels to rebuild my bladder. So yeah, and since then I've had feet surgery, back surgery. You can even see all the scars. I have a scar here, I even have a pin or a screw in my toe. I can't bend my toes. I have a scar here. So basically, I also had cavus feet, and what that means is, or claw toes. And then I had a Jones hip surgery. I know that's a lot of jargon. Basically, my toes were like this. So actually, when I was working at White Station, I broke my toe and they couldn't fix it. So they ended up breaking all my toes and then putting that together and put pins in them. So that's one of the surgeries I did. Also have I'm not sure if you can see, I have really high arches. And then I used to walk like this. So like my legs were curved, or my toes were pointed to the center. And I kind of kid because I had the Forrest Gump braces. That's, I embraced them. The ones that wrapped around your waist and went down the side of your legs. I actually still have a scar from my leg braces as a kid. But yeah, that's me, that's Lindsey, that's who I am. And I'm so grateful that my parents and my mom just, let me do everything. They let me play sports. They let me cheer. They didn't let anything stop me, and they also taught me how to work hard and just to keep going and don't let anybody let you get down. And yeah, so that's kind of my childhood. Like I said, we were really big with our grandparents. I might get emotional just talking about my mom and granddaddy because they were such a big part of our life. Joyce and Ted, yeah, they're awesome. I can't wait to see them again very, very soon. But yeah, I'm grateful for my childhood. I grew up in church, and I know if you follow my stories, I kind of say I didn't really become a mature Christian until just a few years ago. I'm grateful for growing up in the church. We grew up in a Baptist church, but looking back, I felt like I knew what to say. I felt like I knew the actions and how you're supposed to act and that kind of stuff, but I always felt like it was very judgmental. And I know I said with my girls, I don't ever want them to go through that. So yeah, I would say the last few years, I've really learned what it means to be a Christian, to have a relationship with the Lord, to talk to Him, have a conversation. Like, it's not about traditions and rituals and all that stuff. It's about a relationship. And so that's what I am modeling for my girls. We go to church, we go to Fellowship Memphis, and people always ask me, they're like, so what denomination are you? I'm like, I just love Jesus. I'm a Christian. I don't need to put no label on it. I just know that I need Jesus in my life, and I need that relationship. And in another video, I'll kind of talk about how I can look back and see how God, everything that's kind of happened has been for a reason. And it's kind of cool to look back and look at that big picture, because I'm able to use my platform, my Instagram, Ryan and Rose, to share with other mommies that might have kids with medical issues or disabilities, to say, hey, look at me. I'm just fine. And treat your kids like, do what's best for them, but let them shine. Let them, encourage them, motivate them. Like, let them know that they're awesome, and that let them use those differences to make them stronger. Differences are okay. And it's kind of cool to be able to use my platform for that, because it's so important. It's so important to teach those little ones that how important they are, how awesome, and it's okay that you're different, because I'm definitely different. Yeah, I'm not sure where I'm going with this. I could go on and on and on and on. But yeah, God's been good. I have a lot to be thankful for. I'll do a few more videos about my life and story and work and interpreting, and just how God's been there the entire time, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for all of it. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel that you can get our next videos, because I'm going to just keep sharing my life and show you how God's worked in it. And yeah, make sure you follow us at Ryan and Rose, and you can go to our website, ryanandrose.co. I actually have a testimony on there, kind of talks about our life, kind of in a nutshell. We actually need to update it because Charlie is not really, we don't talk about Charlie much, but yeah, that's another big God moment in our lives. So anyways, that's it for today.